guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about my labor and delivery story. So if you want to know what happened during my labor and delivery, keep on watching. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you back to my 36-week appointment, and then I'll take you straight through delivery. So as you know, if you watch any of my previous pregnancy videos, you know that I was due April 17th. They changed my due date from April 13th to April 17th. And that's when I was due. So and I got all my notes right here in my phone. So if you see me looking, it's because I'm looking at my phone just to make sure I have everything together and coordinated, you know what I'm saying. So around March 20th, I turned 36 weeks. So instead of me changing weeks every Thursday, if I was due April 13th, I changed weeks every Monday, making me due April 17th. So around March 20th, I had my 36-week appointment, and they checked me. They did a cervical check, and they said that I was 2 centimeters dilated. And I started losing my mucus plug during that week. So I still had pelvic pressure during that week, and I was losing my mucus plug. So fast forward to week 37, which was this week. I turned 37 weeks on March 20th. March 27th, I had another cervical check with another doctor. So the doctor's office that I go to has 2 different doctors. So they basically want you to see both doctors just so you can have that rapport with each doctor, because you never know when you're going to go into labor and who's going to deliver your baby. So they basically want you to have that rapport with the doctor so you can be comfortable with them when you're in your labor and delivery, and so they know what you want during your labor and delivery or whatever. So basically I switch doctors. I don't stick with just one doctor. I have 2 different doctors that I go to, and you know, I built rapport with both of them. So with the woman, she was very, very, very gentle when it came to my cervical check. She just did it with ease. But with the man, this past week, when I turned 37 weeks, he just shoved his hand all the way in. He just shoved it in there. Then he was pressing on top of my stomach, and he was like, yeah, her head is right there. I can feel her head, and you're already 3 centimeters dilated. So I was like, okay, maybe this week she'll come, maybe next week, because I never make it to 39 weeks. I always have my babies around 37 or 38 weeks. I have never made it past 39 weeks. I never made it to 40. I never made it past 39 weeks. So I knew I was going to have her soon, because I was already 3 centimeters. So I needed to be like 4 just to be admitted to the hospital. Hold on, ladies. Hold on. Get the little one just so she doesn't show out. So I knew that I was going to be admitted, either have her around 37 or 38 weeks, because I never made it to 39 weeks with my first 2 kids. So I knew she was going to come soon. So like I said, around 37 weeks after he checked me that Monday, after my 37-week appointment, the next day, which was Tuesday, which was the 28th, I started having bloody show. And if you do not know what that is, it's basically your mucus plug with blood in it. So it's basically, it could be an indicator that you're going to go into labor soon. So, you know, I went and I looked online to see if that's an indicator that I'll be going into labor. And a lot of women said after they had their bloody show, they went to labor that same day or the next day. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll go into labor today, tomorrow, or I know by the end of next week. By the first week of April, I knew she would be here in this world. I knew I'd deliver her by the first week of April. So fast forward to the 29th, which was Wednesday. So Tuesday, I started having the bloody show, and I started having irregular contractions during that night. During Tuesday night, I started having irregular contractions. They were very mild, but I couldn't sleep. I could sleep, but you know, they were hurting. They would come and go. So I really couldn't sleep. So Wednesday, I was having irregular contractions as well, but they was not frequent for me to go to the hospital. So, you know, I took a little nap, and they'll come, they'll go, they'll come, they'll go. they'll come for every hour and then they'll leave. So, you know, it wasn't regular for me to be like, okay, she's coming. But I made sure I had my bags ready because I think she's going to come this week. And fast forward to Wednesday around 6 o'clock, I came home and I went to the bathroom. And after I peed, I got up from the bathroom. I felt like this gush of fluid. Like, I didn't have the urge to pee, but there was stuff still coming out. And I was like, dang, what's going on? Was that my water? And every time I would get up, it was stuff still coming out. So I called the doctor. He was like, doesn't seem like it's your water that broke, because if it was your water that broke, it'll keep coming out. It wouldn't be like trickles of water. So I think that she was just pressing on my bladder. Like, I think she was pressing on my bladder so bad that my body couldn't hold water, couldn't hold the urine. So I was just peeing on myself. But I did have a pad on. So, okay, just to let you know, I did have a pad. I did take showers. So I wasn't stinking up the place. So, because I still had pads on. I was wearing pads since 36 weeks, since my mucus plugs started coming out. So, yeah, so after that, I took a shower. I went to go lay down. And I felt like this crack, like something cracked in my pelvic. It felt like, it was like, that's the kind of sound that it made, and it hurt so bad. I was like, I don't know what that is, but something cracked. And then I started having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes apart. And I was like, I told my husband, we got to go to the hospital. She is coming. She's coming today. So I got my bags. I took my kids, my 2 daughters, to the babysitter because I had school the next day. And it was a Wednesday afternoon. It was Wednesday night, around 6 o'clock that it happened. We went to the hospital. We got there around 6, I think around 7:15, something like that. Next thing I knew, we got to triage. She asked me all these questions, and I was like, okay, during that time when I was in labor, if you know me, I do not handle pain well. So I was like, I don't have time to answer your questions. And she was just like, well, we have to get these questions did, you know, it's a requirement. You know how the nurses be. I was like, I understand it's all a requirement, but when I'm going to get my drip, when I'm going to get the juice, I want the epidural. I do not want a C-section. I want the epidural. So when I got into triage, she was like, your doctor is going to allow you to have a VBAC? And I was like, yes, he has no choice. If I want a VBAC, he is my doctor. This is what I want to do. I do not want a C-section. I'm having a VBAC in the name of Jesus. God's already told me this is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to be broken down. So I got in there to triage. They checked me. I was already 5 centimeters going on 6. And so I was like, okay, I want the epidural now. I cannot take these contractions. These are very painful. I cannot breathe through them. And they're coming every 2 to 3 minutes apart. And I didn't even get a break. I couldn't get a breath because they were coming so strong and coming so fast. They were like on top of each other. And that happened with my last child too, with my last daughter. They were coming, once I started contractions, they were on top of each other. I did not get a break from a contraction. And the same with her. So we got in. She was like, okay, well, you're admitted. Let's go ahead and get you into the room. We have to go ahead and draw some blood from you. We have to get you an IV. We have to do the, what do you call that bag? The saline, not the saline bag, but the water bag. You know what I'm talking about. The bag, the water bag or whatever. We have to get you that bag. We have to get you your fluids. Once you get finished with your fluids, then we can go ahead and allow you to watch the tape of the epidural, because if you get an epidural, you have to watch a tape, a 15-minute tape, letting you know the pros and cons of getting an epidural. You have to sign the fee waiver. You have to sign the permission. You have to sign the papers stating that you want an epidural, you watch the video, you agree with all the pros and cons, and then you have to wait on the anesthesiologist. The anesthesiologist, and nobody has ever told me there's only one anesthesiologist for the whole hospital. I always wonder why it takes 2 to 3 hours to get my epidural. And they got all these doctors here. I'm assuming they had an anesthesiologist for every department, not one for the whole hospital. So I'm like, what's taking him so long? They're like, well, we only have one anesthesiologist for the whole hospital. I'm like, for the whole hospital, you got all these patients. And I'm talking, they had 36 women in labor that day. We have all these women wanting their epidural, and you only got one anesthesiologist. And I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. I'm in pain. I want the juice. I want the drip. Come on, stop playing with me. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. So, yeah, she's So they got the drip. Well, they didn't get the drip. So next thing I know, she was like, okay, we have to draw some blood. Let me draw the blood and everything else. So she drew the blood. She got the IV. During all that, I was having painful contractions. So during that, I was still having contractions and everything. And then all of a sudden, I had the urge to push. And it felt like I had to push the biggest boo-boo out of my butthole that I ever had in life. I'm talking about in life. It just felt like I had to push. And I could not control it. It was like it was coming out all by itself. And I was like, ma'am, Nurse Jessica, I got to push. She was like, do not push. I was like, I cannot help it. My body is pushing on its own. We got, something's coming out. Next thing I know, she checked me. I was 9 centimeters. And I was like, what about my epidural? And she was just like, well, you're not going to be able to get the epidural because, once you get 9 centimeters, you're out for an epidural. You won't be able to get the epidural at all. So I was highly upset. And so I was just like, okay, I'm not getting the epidural. Let's go ahead and get this baby out of here. And she was like, no, you cannot push. I was like, I'm not pushing. My body's pushing. She was like, but your doctor is not here. Your on-call doctor is not here. We have to get a doctor that's here. We have to get a doctor from another hospital. We have to get a doctor. We have to get another doctor, not my doctor. So the 2 doctors that I was visiting at Birth and Women's Center, they were not there that day. So I had another woman that I never met deliver my baby. So this is somebody else delivering my baby. So this is a midwife that was delivering my baby. So what happened was, she was like, I was like, okay, she's going to deliver my baby. Okay, where is she? Where is she at? She was like, well, she is at home. Let me go ahead and call her so she can come. And I was like, how far does she live from here? She lives for quite a while. I was like, quite a while? Y'all telling me to hold it? And I'm like, I just told you that my body is pushing this baby out on its own, and you telling me to hold it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try to hold it. But during all that, it took everything in me not to push. It felt like I had to, you know how when you have to pee and you holding your bladder so tight, that's how I felt like I had to squeeze my butt cheeks together to make sure that she wasn't going to come out. Even though it was not helping. And that's what I did. And I was still having contractions. And I was just like, oh my God, she's coming out. Something's coming out of me. And I was screaming. Next thing I knew, I was like, she is coming out. Next thing I knew, she was coming out. The doctor got there just in time for just for her head to come out, because her head was already out. And everybody was like, her head's here. We have nobody in here. Somebody come help. Oh my God. She was already out when the midwife got there. And the midwife was like, oh my God, she's here. All you have to push is her legs. So her whole body's out. You just need to push her legs out. And she was like, one last push. And I pushed. And it just felt like I pushed boo-boo out. It didn't even feel like I pushed the baby. It was just so surreal. So basically, I had a all-natural birth. No medication. No nothing. This was an all-natural birth, and it was crazy. I was upset during the whole time because I wanted my epidural. I wanted that juice. I wanted that drug. I wanted the drug, and I couldn't get it. But it was a crazy experience. So I can say I've had delivered all 3 ways. I have delivered a baby with an epidural. I have delivered a baby C-section. And I have delivered a baby vaginally with the epidural. I have delivered a baby all natural. So out of all 3 labors, I would take this delivery, the one without an epidural, because right after I delivered her, I was up already using the bathroom, like, okay, give me my ice chips. I want those ice chips and everything else. I could walk around. I could bend down. My legs wasn't hurting. I could do everything that I could do before I was pregnant, and I was excited. I kind of forget sometimes that I just had a baby because I feel so good. I'm home now. I'm cleaning. I'm washing clothes. I got my other 2 kids I'm taking care of. I did their hair. I did my hair. It's just like, it's so surreal until I look at her. I'm like, oh, I just had a baby on the 29th, March 29th. And it is April the 2nd that I'm doing this video. So it's Sunday, April 2nd that I'm filming this video. And it's like this baby is 4 days old. So I'm 4 days fresh from having a baby, and I feel like running a marathon. I wanted to go walk the trail this morning, but I was like, okay, you just had a baby. Calm down. I know you feel good. Blase, calm down. Don't overdo it. But I just feel so amazing. And I feel good. It feels like I done lost some weight, you know, because when you get that epidural, it puts all that medication is in you. Your face is puffy. Your legs is puffy. Your whole body is puffy. Your stomach's still big. I've lost 15 pounds so far from losing, you know, having this baby and stuff. And I just feel good. You know, I feel snatched. You know, I put on a little makeup, you know, so I can look cute for the video. So, until further ado, let me go ahead and show you my baby. So March 29th, I delivered a baby girl. I delivered Ava Justine. So that's her name is Ava. And here she is right here. She is a hand eater. She does like to eat her hands a lot. So here it is, Ava Justine. She was born March 29th at 10:32 p.m., 5 pounds, 10 ounces, 19 inches long. She is the smallest baby I have ever had. And I think that is due to me having HG, hyperemesis gravidarum, during my pregnancy, and me not being able to eat really at all during my pregnancy. That's why she's so small, but she's very healthy. But yeah, but that is my labor and delivery story. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the description box, as well as any comments. Also, I will show you my stomach. Let me see if I can push this down right here. I have on my waist trainer. You probably can see I'm already wearing my waist trainer. So yeah, I'm wearing my waist trainer because I even brought my waist trainer to the hospital. I just didn't wear it in the hospital because they were still pressing on your stomach to make sure your uterus is all together and snatched. But once I got home, I put on my waist trainer, and I'm saying that it's been keeping my stomach intact and haven't seen a little difference. So yeah, this is my labor and delivery story, and I hope you liked the video. Please thumbs it up, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.